Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings.
We got this.
There you go. Wide in. 52. There you go. Going to 54. Wide in. 36. 26.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Here's Prescott. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Hey, kill.
He's crashing.
Here we go, going to 54, 126.
On 1st down, Kaufman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. Wide in. Here we go. 47. Under.
Get the ball right here. Let's go.
26.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, complete. Smith has it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. The open man is Smith. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 34.
Then we're going to 53. Go. Get out there.
Hey, watch it.
26.
They'll try the left side. Kaufman down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, keep it up.
Hey, Kill.
Right there. 54 Mike.
So don't say nothing.
Looking to throw. Prescott looking here for Smith downfield. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Joker.
Kill. Switch it, hey. 26.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
On the set.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Go. Check 26. Check on.
Now Martinez on first down. That one going to be complete to David Moore. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
64, weak.
You got time right there.
Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Exit. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
In your face. Ready, go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Martinez. Rush coming, and he's taken down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
To throw is Martinez. Throwing on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive. Martinez. It's caught. Cooper. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Gain of 16 yards. First down, 49ers.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Martinez. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
49ers nothing.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Martinez now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At at the 22-yard line.
47.
Check, 47. Ready? Deuce. Hey, alert three. Check nickel.
Now Cook running right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Check, 52's the mark.
Here we go, 46.
Hey, Mike 52.
26.
Prescott from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. 80 weapon. 80 weapon.
Second and 9 now. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 34-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Back to throw. Martinez on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check, 59, 59.
Martinez operating from the gun. He completes it to Jones. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's Martinez to throw on 3rd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Check 43.
Cook following the penalty. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 31 yards there and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Make that now 2 runs in a row that have netted them great results.
And it doesn't matter what kind of blocking scheme they're using, gap scheme, power scheme, zone running. They are finding people in those gaps and moving them and creating nice space for their runners.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. snags it for the pick. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Let him.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Check 9, check 9. Charlie. Ready, go.
From the gun, Martinez going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We're going to 54. Why in?
Final play of the half. Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Out, 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 out.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
A first down throw for Prescott. Setting up the screen for Cook. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Check 99. Check 99.
Hatchet. 54. 26.
They'll try the left side. Kaufman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way.
Gun.
47. I got it. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 58-yard.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
We're going to 54. Why in?
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Let's get it.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
We're going to 53.
What screen? Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
26.
Prescott. And he finds Cook. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Going to 54. Why in? We're going to 54. Why in?
Kill. Say it.
Then we're going to 53. 26.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
I'm coming after you. Alert 3. Check 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Kaufman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here we go again.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming. Go.
Looking to throw. Martinez. This complete to Jones. 6 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Martinez from the gun on 3rd down. Room here to run. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Under.
Hold. Kill.
We're going to 54. Why 26.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. Wide in.
Check right 54.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Wide in.
Get him. Under 10.
26.
They're going to try to jet sweep on 3rd and long. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to bury it up. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run it again with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pick up there. It's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Back to throw. Martinez. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. Kaufman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This from 25 yards out. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And this is going to backfire big time. He'll go down on the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, Why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here we go.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
And they will take a knee here.
First down on the keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Here we go.
Mike's by 4.
I got one.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Prescott on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Minnesota.